just to show you, what we're dealing with in the personality. All right, so he shows up to the press conference with his grandpa.
Make it full screen.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would just like to simply say that on behalf of myself and my family, we thank you for the concerns in the community about the accusations that have happened. I just want to say that I am deeply saddened
So he's
and a little disrespected
right now?
by
He's
some
like
of the things that have
19
come
years
forth.
old right now.
But I will say that my attorneys are working hard. They're working around
My
the clock to
attorneys-
make sure
my
that this
attorneys.
issue gets resolved
Make sure
in the
it gets
best way possible. I would just simply
keep all
ask
the
that you
news
please
agencies
allow
right.
the attorneys to do their job.
Inside
You
edition.
respect the privacy, you respect my privacy,
that's
and my
Virginia.
family's privacy.
respect
and
my
just please allow us
privacy.
to deal with this issue the way any normal family would. And I would simply ask that if you could please pray for us in this time, that everything that's
He's a
happened,
church
that
kid.
we get
He plays
the truth
piano.
out of it. And not only the
So-
truth, but we can shed some good light on some of the
good light
things that
on
are happening in the community today. That we
man.
can shed a good light on some of the positive things that are happening, and stop worrying about bashing someone and start lifting them up.
Is he talking about
Once
himself?
again, I want to
Himself.
thank everyone for their support,
He's
whether it
talking
was
about
good or
himself.
bad. I've had some great supporters, and I've had some people who have said some negative things. But everyone is entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
And once again, I am not upset. And I
not
respect the
mad.
community for the concerns that they have. But once again, just please respect our wishes and allow our attorneys to do the best that they can to work on this case. Thank you so very much, and have a great night.
Oh, man.
All right, let me tell you guys about Dr. Love Robinson. All right,
Sir.
this gentleman, when asked how an 18-year-old is able to practice medicine, he says he has a PhD. Okay, he's a homeopathic.
Yeah, he doesn't claim to be an MD.
No,
He's
even though on the building when they printed
Sales.
up his little sign, he said that the building management made a mistake and assumed that he was an MD.
Right.
So the kid has 2 certificates, and the reason why I tell you guys this is because this is the information, or the way he kind of sold people that he was a real doctor is by these certificates. That when you do a little more research online, it's basically like an online deal. This guy from Denver, you pay him I think it was $50 and he sends you a certificate and makes you a homeopathic doctor. Now,
Right.
the reason why this works in Florida is because you're allowed to practice as an alternative medicine physician.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we need, that
All right.
that truck sound effect, because I'm gonna murder a lot of words. But Florida allows you to practice.
Well, they don't. Yeah, you don't have to be they don't check on it. It's
Exactly.
not regulated. Or it's not.
Exactly. So that's how he was able to
It's
get.
anybody can say that they're in yada 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 ND. They can have the certificates, but it's just some dude in Denver.
So that's how this kid was skating by all this stuff. So he got a lease on a building, on an office inside of a building, and he got an investor.
Right. So this is after this. After this, is this the press conference after the
So what happened
investor, or
was
is this before?
the cops had to drop the charges at the hospital, right? So then he was working at a Boynton Beach practice. I'm not sure if it was a chiropractor, some type of medical.
No, was it Boynton Beach or was it?
This is before he got his own deal.
Right.
He was working at Boynton Beach as a massage therapist.
Right.
And the health department got wind of this, and they sent a letter to this facility in Boynton Beach, and he had to get terminated.
This is so crazy, right? Because he's a kid, essentially.
So
I mean, I know he's 18, 19, but
he was 17 when this happened.
I thought he was 17 when he was walking through the hospital.
No, that was 16.
Oh, he was even.
That was when he was 16. Then he worked at the chiropractor as a massage therapist.
I wonder if he was driving to the spot.
Oh, he's got a car. I don't know if I could find.
Was he driving to the spot?
That's
up
interesting
car?
that you say that about they're driving to the car, because after he got fired from Boynton Beach, but he didn't get arrested. He got sent a cease and desist. That basically means you can't practice
Massage
from the massage place.
Right.
So then he opens his practice and he starts to see this older lady, okay? And, I'm sorry, the older lady was seeing him at Boynton Beach. This is before the practice. He convinces the older lady that he does house calls. And while he's doing house calls, he manages to get some checkbooks and starts to pay himself through the lady's deposit. So this is where he starts to go wrong, because at the beginning he wasn't really doing anything.
Stop for
wrong.
a second. This is where he starts to go wrong.
Well, as far as like legally, he's still operating within a gray area, because like I said, Florida says you're allowed to operate without having a license. But when he starts to forge checks, this is when we're dealing with the criminal acts. So he took enough money from the old lady to buy himself a Lexus and pay some credit cards off. Okay,
you're hitting the quotes like they're not true. Is that really happened, right?
No, he bought himself a Lexus. Like, that's what I'm trying to find here, but
you want to search?
Well, he's like pulling up to the courthouse in one of these, and so this is what really makes him like technically like, because I was beginning to like the kid because of just based on. It's not easy to do what he did, getting in. Hold on a second. I'm jumping ahead of myself, because you got to ask yourself, who are the adults that are involved, that are allowing this to take place? So here's the investor. This guy's name is Perseus, some Greek guy.
That's a powerful name, right? Isn't that a
he
guy?
He calls into this interview. And just listen to this guy. This guy invested $10,000.
Himself, actually an investor. Perseus invested in this young man's medical. Perseus, did you believe this young man was a physician?
At the time, yes. And like I said, he pretty much is accused of not being one. I still don't know which is which. Is it true? Is it isn't true?
Well, but Perseus, he's 18. It's impossible to get the sufficient training. It takes 8 years to get.
This is a grown man. Let's give it $10,000 of his money.
Training after that,
There's
so it's just impossible to do it by 18.
These are also stepping stones.
I don't know. He's a very convincing, like,
look at that
individual.
He wears a stethoscope.
The confidence of this kid, guy, man.
To open a practice and hire MDs and bring MDs in. Now,
okay, so that's an important part here. That's another way he's kind of getting away with this. This is his office, by the way. This whole area. He's
like, hey, I don't know how I got all this, but I do. I got it.
He got all the money from this guy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And he opened this office, and the idea was he was going to be like the manager of the doctor office, and he was going to bring in doctors. So this guy's on the phone calling real doctors to come work for him. This is you gotta give the kid some credit.
At that point, is he just more of a
he told me he was
like manager?
So
he told him that he was a natural doctor.
Natural doctors and what they do.
Yeah, I mean, and technically he was, right? He got a certificate from the dude in Denver.
His
We're good to go, right?
From some state, Arizona State, and transcripts. And
so he had transcripts from Arizona State.
What can I say?
Were you surprised?
I don't know much about it.
Were you surprised when he was arrested?
Was I? Oh yeah. I was very surprised.
You were surprised?
Hey man, he believed him. Again, he's a very convincing young man.
Would you give an 18-year-old kid $10,000 to open a medical practice?
No, but I don't know. Maybe someone who can give $10,000 away, but has the ability to.
So this guy Perseus should be in jail too.
Better than I do, and maybe that's why I don't have $10,000 to give away.
You don't think Perseus should be put in jail for child neglect? Like this is
child neglect.
Yeah, that's like giving 18. A kid a gun.
It's like, how is that? What are you talking about?
You're giving a kid $10,000 to look after people. I mean, he's.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He's got to be liable. Let's watch. I think this is the episode where he.
No, but I see what kind of point you're trying to make there. Kind of
explains a little bit.
I don't know. Give a kid a gun. He wasn't actually seeing patients, correct?
Yeah. Like I said, he was seeing the old lady. Though he got $38,000 out of the old lady.
What did he do with the old lady? He was talking about how he would check her pulse, or her not pulse, but her pulse, the weight, and something else. But the way he described it is something that your mother would do.
His stomach.
Wait an hour.
His stomach. Her stomach, I'm sorry. She was suffering from stomach issues. And he provided...
He did send her to get a ultrasound.
Right. And then he also provided like some herbal pills.
I got a call from the terrace. I just happened to be at the desk, and I picked it up. She
Who's
said,
this lady?
we got a cold.
Is
that not the lady?
No, this is not the lady. It's like, is that the lady? Yeah. Here we go. Tell us.
WPBF 25 News has obtained these never-before-seen pictures of that teen being detained. According to the police report, the unidentified teen, dressed in a St. Mary's lab coat and wearing a stethoscope and face mask, had been seen by doctors and staff for over a month, roaming the halls and entering patients' rooms. In his car, police found a second lab coat embroidered with his name. The report says he told police he'd been a doctor for years and his family would vouch for him. What kind of doctor, he didn't say, but the teen later told police he'd never...
Yo, call my mom. She knows I'm a doctor.
St. Mary's denied he'd ever come in contact with patients and declined to press charges. Police determined no crime had been committed. Now, 1 year later, Malachi Love Robinson admits he
his
was
name
that
is so
teen.
doctor-like.
He's still wearing a lab coat, and this time he has his own medical office. Love Robinson was surprised to see us in his waiting room, but agreed to an interview. The first thing Love Robinson did was to slowly remove his stethoscope and lab coat, an ensemble that numerous witnesses tell me he wears everywhere.
He's smart. He's like, I'm not going to take this interview with this lab coat.
And he wasn't surprised that we had questions. You've got a lot of sites.
Check the glasses are exactly the same when he got arrested the first time.
No, they don't claim medical doctor, as I am aware of.
Man.
If you could stop recording, please, I would like that.
Love Robinson a few minutes later said we could start recording again, and he asked us to come back for a second interview, which we did.
Let's go
for the second interview. Look at my office, though. This, man, you gotta give the kid credit.
Love Robinson claims he won't be acting as a medical doctor. One reason may be because of his recent run-in with the Florida Department of Health. We've obtained a cease and desist order from the Florida Department of Health, issued just 3 months ago. When Love Robinson was working as a massage therapist at a Boynton Beach rehab facility, the health department had reason to believe Love Robinson was leading the public to believe he was a licensed medical doctor without holding an active license. The department ordered Love Robinson to stop practicing massage therapy until he is licensed. But now, family members are raising questions as to whether Love Robinson has figured out a way to treat patients after all.
So many physicians, they speak to me, and they're just in awe. And it's not because I'm a great person, not because I'm some miracle from heaven sent. It's just because I have a passion for helping people.
Love Robinson says he is not an MD, as his taped-over clinic sign says. That's a mistake, he says, that he didn't authorize. But an ND, or naturopathic doctor. Florida doesn't license NDs. Anyone can call themselves that. Even an 18-year-old who's extremely vague on his alleged experience.
I've done a lot of courses in institutions, locally and some non.
That's how you know he's young. It's a rookie move.
I've attended many conventions.
It's a rookie move, young boy.
You gotta give him so much credit, though, man. Like he's pulling press conferences, meeting with news agencies,
multiple interviews,
treat patients
like over a span of years.
As an MD.
What about that police report when he was confronted inside of St. Mary's?
No, ma'am. I requested to shadow some physicians. Next thing I know, cops are there. That's all I know. All I know. Have no idea. This story was broadcast everywhere. Like I'm some insane maniac that's just out here doing crazy things.
Maybe a little bit, bro.
Love Robinson claims he was shadowing a doctor and had every right to be there.
I didn't operate I didn't reach in someone's uterus.
I didn't reach in someone's uterus, he says.
I didn't do any of that.
I didn't do none of that.
But one thing Love Robinson says he will do is to continue toward his goal of becoming
Malachi,
a doctor.
Dr. Love.